die habe ich eh schon gemacht, so wie sie vom Fahren.
It is Saturday night in Copenhagen, day 9, IIHF World Hockey Championship, just after 9 p.m. local time inside Royal Arena. And a great matchup between Switzerland and Russia. They have something in common, both suffering losses to the Czechs. The Swiss only lost 5-4 in a shootout. Russia's only loss, a 4-3 decision to the Czechs in overtime, and back in net, 6'7". 243 pounds, Vasily Kasechkin gets the start in net. He's been fantastic, just one loss to the Czechs. And Reto Berra, 2 wins, 1 shutout. Goals against of 1. He stopped 47 of 49 shots in this tournament so far. Won silver for his country back in 2013, and a great battle here. And on the top line is Nikita Gusev making his debut with Datsuk and Kaprizov. We'll watch him closely, but right now the third lineup for Russia, and the Danov, Andronov, and Mamin, as we're underway here on a Saturday night. And a full crowd inside Royal Arena. And from the ovation, it sounds like most of them cheering for the Swiss, so we're in for a great game. Puck back into the Russian zone. Riyad Azit spins and fires and gets it back down ice. Keselevich back in his own zone for Russia. So the Russians, their first adversity to loss, Mike Jansen. What do you expect from them tonight?
Better. I expect a better, more determined performance, knowing that they're going up against a team that will challenge them. Not as skilled, but they'll play tight, they'll play hard, and they'll make them earn it. So things are almost too easy for Russia the first 3 games.
Swung up on the near wall for Nikita Zaitsev, who chips it back down the ice. So Gusev and Zaitsev now the only right-handed shots on Russia. So one more right-handed shot on the roster for Ilya Vorobiev to work with.
And I think Gusev might take Zaitsev's spot on the power play as the right shot one-timer in the Ovechkin slot.
And there's Kaprizov. He's speedy, he's on the move, he picks it off. Drill Kaprizov taken down in the corner. He gets back up. Dishes out across, one-time shot, tipped in front and just wide with Pavel Datsuk in the area. Datsuk, neat little backhand into the corner as the captain, 6 points in the tournament. As does Barabanov, as does Drill Kaprizov, who's battling in the corner. They're all tied with 6 points. Kaprizov driving into that circle, stripped of the puck, and away comes Andrighetto to Vermeen up ice. Vermeen driving into the near corner. And a good pace early to this hockey game as Datsuk picks that off, and away comes Russia. Passing play in front, and it just stayed out off the bar and just out. Oh, Gusev almost welcomes himself into the tournament. He was the leading scorer in Pyeongchang. Mike, tell us about this player. He's dynamic.
He is very shifty off the rush, smaller, not the fastest, but so slippery and incredibly talented with the puck.
Barabanov steps over the blue line, drops off Shalunov. He's found on it. Barabanov hard into the corner. Gusev dynamic as the athletes of Russia winning Olympic gold in Pyeongchang. Shot tipped in front. Reto Berra finally covers up with a lot of action in the Swiss side, and Kablukov, a few extra words after the play.
There he is, Nikita Gusev on his first shift, takes his pass off his knees and off the post as well, in behind Reto Berra, who's able to skip it out of there off Datsuk's stick. Then Gusev, and a lucky break for Switzerland to avoid a goal there. But Gusev to go to the net. He's got a great one-timer. He's very much like Artemi Panarin, which is high praise, as good as we know Panarin can be.
Gusev 12 points in Pyeongchang, named the best forward in the tournament. And his first game here at the Worlds for Russia, like they needed more offensive upside. This team has been dynamic, #1 power play. They've been rolling offensively.
Just get him an extra week's rest so that he can be fresh for the home stretch of this tournament.
So what do you make of that top line? Datsuk, Gusev, and Kaprizov. Dodonov was on that top line, and now he slides in.
Well, Kaprizov is there to grind the puck out of the corner and finish. He's a shooter by nature. We know what Datsuk does, a bit of everything. He likes to pass. Gusev's a bit of a hybrid. He doesn't mind shooting. He doesn't mind being the goal scorer, but he's also incredibly creative and can think the game on the level with Datsuk and the offensively inclined Kaprizov.
And a bit of a change to the Swiss top line as there's a conversation brewing with Maxime Mammon, Nino Niederreiter. So Niederreiter, his childhood buddy Corby at center, and Moser moved up for a while. They had Hoffman up, but you said as the tournament went on, Moser got a look.
Yeah, Moser's been slotted in there. It's actually been a bit better because Hoffman's very much a straight line player and a shooter. Doesn't have a lot of vision, and Niederreiter and Moser work better down low in and around the net together. And then Enzo Corby floats around the perimeter trying to be creative.
So now Andronov waved out of the circle, and that's one thing the officials watch closely. Crease violations, the face-offs, and too many men are things that we picked up on, and the players obviously picking up on as well. Over the line is Kukan, fires, misses wide. Nino Niederreiter behind the net, tried to get it for Enzo Corby, can't, and it's fired into the neutral ice area. Kukan takes a bump as Nikita Zaitsev slings that across. Good job from Niederreiter, who leads the Swiss in points. 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points, leading the way offensively. Turnover in tight to the backhand. Redo stops it and just stopped it off the post again. Dodonov moved off that top line, but the skill stays with him as he's playing with Andronov and Maxime Mammon, and he nearly broke through.
You can tell Russia's playing a little more pace here, jumping on loose pucks. Dodonov beats Para 5-hole and trickles off the post after getting it through the wickets. And Dodonov sells it hard to the backhand. Barrow opens up the 5-hole, and for the second time in a row, here's the ting behind him and no goal.
Buchnevich, the New York Ranger. This second line's been real good for Russia. Buchnevich and Nisimov and Grigorenko. They've stuck together basically since game 1. And through the first 2 games, they've combined for 9 points and continue to do it offensively as a big hit there. And Nisimov took a high shoulder in front, backhand, kick stop there. Gosechkin, his first good test. Chipped in at the blue line. Swung around the boards, Alexei Bereglazov. Haven't seen a lot of him in the tournament. He's on the ice in the backhand. He goes off for a change.
No, he was just activated to the roster as well, and I think now Russia's roster is full with Gusev and Bereglazov.
Yakolev starts the play, has to do it one more time, ships it up to Datsuk. Datsuk with that gold medal in Pyeongchang, joining the Triple Gold Club, World Championship gold, Olympic gold, Stanley Cup winner. As Gusev was streaking in, play was broken up, and they'll have to try one more time to behind their own goal line. Fans are into it at Royal Arena, as is Kaprizov. Datsuk centering pass in front, and Datsuk, as we've seen all tournament, he loves to set up. He's a setup man, and he's done it his entire career, so no surprise there. Kaprizov with space, looks, waits, fires, and a nice stop there from Redo Berra. And behind the play, we got a high stick.
Another high sticking penalty, and Andrighetto seems to be thinking it's not him who committed the infraction, but he's the one headed to the box. He was stopped on this one-on-one, and there's the rake across the face of Gavrikov. Every game I have to say it, because every game it happens. Careless stick play in this tournament, and there seems to be 1 or 2 high sticking penalties per game.
Russia 4 for 9 on the power play, the #1 power play unit in the tournament. Andrighetto, by the way, was suspended 1 game for a knee-on-knee hit earlier in the tournament. The Shappy, his job behind the net. He steals behind the goal line. Continues to work, 1-on-2, drops it off. Moser chips it towards him. Nice job from Shappy, finally knocks off the puck. Anisimov on this power play. Grigorenko, not a good attempt to fire it in, and that's broken up. The Swiss able to chip it all the way down the ice, and Gosechkin, who was the all-star goalie in Pyeongchang as well, plays in Magnitogorsk in the KHL, and he is big in net, 6'7", and a large presence. I think the biggest goalie we've seen, at least in this group.
Yeah, tallest and heaviest. That's the difference. Pekka Rinne's 6'7", but he might be 210 pounds.
Long shot handled by Kosechkin. Him and Shesterkin have been in net for Russia in this tournament. A few interesting goaltending changes as Gusev passes across. That shot high and wide. It comes all the way to Kaprizov and chips it down low. Real Kaprizov working it into that corner for Datsuk, but it's swung all the way down the ice and well past Yakolev, who's got to hustle back for it, and the Swiss changing. 36 seconds remaining on this power play. Dadonov lost the puck again, sent down, and we mentioned the #1 power play in the tournament, but the Swiss doing a heck of a job so far.
Introducing a new player in Gusev to the breakouts added a bit of confusion, couple broken, disjointed entries. Didn't let Russia get much zone time. It's been an excellent clear so far.
The Swiss one shorthanded goal in this tournament thus far, and coming into today, Russia, one of 3 teams yet to allow a power play goal. As Grigorenko over the blue line, down low, and nice position there in that battle. Anisimov was bumped off the puck as Zaitsev jumps into the play. Power play over, in front. Anisimov spins, fires high off the back of the glass, and Grigorenko back on it. Anisimov, Buchnevich setting up behind the net. Buchnevich takes a hit, loses the puck, and is shipped to the near wall and out. So a nice job from the Swiss and an early penalty kill. What did you like about it?
Well, they didn't let Russia get in the zone, and when they tried the entry along the wall, they pressed aggressively on the initial zone entry, try to turn them over before they get set up, and it was very effective. And good clears. When you get the puck on your stick, it's got to get all the way down the ice.
Barabanov goes hard into the corner. He loses it, and here's the speed of Hoffman. Up ice, Niederreiter, Hoffman, and just a step offside, and you'll hear it from the crowd. It's a pro-Swiss crowd here tonight, Saturday night at Royal Arena. Welcome back inside Royal Arena. Copenhagen, great city, about 1.3 million in the surrounding area. And another sold-out crowd, I'd argue just under 13,000 once again. We had a sellout earlier today as Sweden continues to roll, and we look forward. The final meeting in group play will be between Sweden and Russia, and that could very well decide the group, but still stay tuned for that. The Swiss might have something to say. As Nino Niederreiter, long shot and steered into the corner. Corby working away as the Swiss try to pick up more points in every game, except for that one blip in the radar. As Switzerland tries to work it up ice, Buchan wraps it along the boards. I'm trying to do the math in my head, Mike. Did they get the 1 point in that loss?
Yeah, they got
They did get a
They've
single.
got an overtime loss, an overtime win.
Turnover, Niederreiter fires.
So points in every game for 9 total.
Thanks,
It's okay. That's what I'm here for.
a lot of math going on in
Do
my
the numbers.
head, and I'm bad at math, so I wanted to just make sure on air. So they have points in every game. Gusev dangling, fires, and that just missed the far post as he was looking for that corner. Gusev skating after it, nearly picked that off. Stretched up to the near wall, and Shalunov, the bump is Kaprizov. Stretch pass up ahead, and Ramin numped off the puck. As they stretch it up ahead, Gusev to give. Shot, nice stop there, rebound in front. And a good battle as the captain. Behind the net, that battle continues. And the Swiss come away with it. Puck bouncing. And fired in behind Kosechkin.
I think even Pavel Datsyuk realizes it's time to get serious. Those are 2 rushes where he has shot the puck. He knows it's time to play. Ratchet it up in his preparation and his focus.
Buchnevich waits, gives, and goes to the net. Back up to Zaitsev. Dangling, fires, and that caught a little bit of the bar, I think, behind Red Opera. Then the one game that Datsyuk, 39 years of age, gets 2 goals. Kaprizov doesn't even feed him on a 2-on-1. He goes top shelf.
No.
No respect for the kid.
He's a goal scorer.
As Buchnevich, second line out for Russia. To the near wall. Grigorenko goes towards the front of the net. Now behind the net. Grigorenko tied up, tripped. Play continues. Little backhand pass that's intercepted. Swung in front by Anisimov. Nobody home. That shot deflected and in front of Red Opera. And he'll cover up as we're through the midway point of this first period. A lot of action here at Royal Arena. Welcome back inside Royal Arena. Red Opera has certainly been the busier goalie. Played with San Diego in the AHL this year. A couple games with Anaheim, played 5. But really solid here in his 6th World Championship. Always a rock in net for Switzerland. Winning a silver medal not too long ago as well. They won that silver in 2013 in Stockholm, Helsinki. At that time, their first medal since way back in 1953, as that shot is whistled high off the faceoff over at Opera.
You can always count on good goaltending from the Swiss, whether it's David Abisher or Jonas Hiller, Red Opera. NHL caliber goalies in Switzerland for sure.
As the Swiss on the move, led by Rod, long backhand. It was going to miss, but Kosechkin decides to love it down anyways.
And you see some of the chances that Gusev has created and been part of early on in this game. Off his shin, then there's one from Dodonov, also off the post, and then why not one more? 3 for $1. Ding, 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 as Zaitsev scraped one off the bar as well. Russia has to be feeling unlucky to still be scoreless and tied.
Over at Herning, Mikko Rantanen has made it a 1-0 advantage for Finland over Canada. A massive game when it comes to Group B. Canada want to keep their hopes alive to lock up a second place spot. They have to beat Finland tonight. The United States obviously very much in the conversation, as is Finland. As the puck is played up and Russia on the move. Bouncing puck, and that's picked off as Sergei Adronov was driving towards the front of the net. Had it stripped and it's set up ahead to Nito Niederreiter, who was just a step offside. It looks like Moser put him offside.
There's a tightness to the checking of Russia in this game that has not been present previously. They're very focused in on Niederreiter and Corby and Meyer. The gaps are tighter. They're not giving up the blue line nearly as easily, and so it's been hard for Niederreiter, who's been great in this tournament for Switzerland, to get in the offensive zone and do some of his best work along the wall and in front of the net.
Timo Meyer wearing number 28. 9th overall pick of the Sharks in 2015, and another addition to this team. Kevin Fiala, Roman Josi on the way as well.
That'll be a big difference. Roman Yossi out here, there's 25 minutes that he'll be on the ice, having a positive impact for Switzerland.
Jean-Gabriel Pajot has tied it for Canada, so 1-1 over in Herning. As Kro Kaprizov tries to tee it up for Gusev, who swings it to Keselevich. Back up to the points. Datsuk swings it across. Shot tipped. Oh, glove stop. Redo Berra in front. The redirection, but Berra snags it with the glove.
It's Gusev again. How about the backhand tip drill? Gavrikov puts it in. Gusev slides over, and what a stop for Berra. That is an athletic reaction. Beautiful shot by Gavrikov. Gusev presents a target right where he wants it. Gavrikov puts it right there, and Berra has had to be good and busy to start this game.
As Redo Shapi waved out of the circle, Hoffman in, and he's able to win it clean. As the Swiss look to move it up ice. Hoffman's on the move at the blue line, had to hold up as the puck was chipped in. Sechkin out to play it. Fired all the way to the near wall, and Buchnevich plays it up ice. Anisimov looking for Grigorenko. Anisimov, Grigorenko in a puck battle in the corner. As Buchnevich slides out to the slot, but no one can get him the puck. As that's fired in, courtesy Hoffman. Grigorenko, nice job to shovel it behind the net. As Trampkin has it for Russia. Under 8 minutes to go in this first period. Russia fighting the podium in 4 consecutive years. Their last gold back in 2014, and they certainly have the tools this year. Another turnover as the captain Diaz sends it up for Nino Niederreiter. Long, high shot, and then he takes a big hit after letting it fly. Another shot from Mirko Mueller, another NHL defenseman, let it go. And again, didn't get through. So nice weaving and a penalty drawn, and that's the speed of Corby. Top line center, creating extra attacker out. So Corby draws a penalty, Mirko Mueller. Back to settle things down for the Swiss as he drops it off. A little bit of speed, that shot, Haas again tries. Wrap around, in front, shot, didn't get through, and finally Russia touches up with the speed of Corby, putting the Swiss on the power play.
Barabanov's isolated, standing still out by the blue line, and Corby, look at this, underneath the stick. Once, and then chop it over, and Barabanov pokes the skates out from under Corby. He goes down, but the confidence to try that, 5 feet inside the blue line with no defensive support because they have been activated, tells you how much Enzo Corby trusts his handles.
So the Swiss make 9th ranked power play, 4 for 18, and as mentioned, Russia coming into today, one of 3 teams yet to allow a power play goal. In a scoreless game, under 7 minutes to go in the first, and Switzerland will try and change that. Face off to the right of Vasily Kosechkin. Controlled by Russia, swung along the boards by Gavrikov, but he was tied up, couldn't get it to go. Keselevich knocked down. Gavrikov battling.
Heavy hockey down there, look at the...
Centering pass in front, Hoffman fires, stopped in front. Oh, Hoffman had a look. And it's Kosechkin's turn.
Kept cross-checking after the fact. Look at those butt ends hanging out. Keselevich has his. Meyer wants a piece of Gavrikov because he kept at it front. And referees will be on edge here. Look at the cross-checks, the heavy lumber. Keselevich and Gavrikov. Look at this back and forth. Meyer just wishing he could get coming in late. Meyer puts that on Hoffman's forehand where he could shoot it, then he's onto something, but he puts on the backhand. And here comes Gavrikov after the fact. There's 1, there's 2, right in the ribs of Meyer. Things are getting heated. It's great.
2015 World Juniors, Gavrikov was captain. He won a silver medal at the World Juniors. In his 2nd straight men's world championship, but he's not shy about throwing that stick around. So 1:39 to go in the power play. Clear down the ice to the right of Redo Berra. Rafael Diaz picks it up, moves it up ice. Andrighetto slings it across. Andrighetto setting up on the near circle. Some crisp passing. Hoffman, he's on the far wall. Hoffman back up to the point. Andrighetto waiting, wanted Hoffman back to our right over his stick. And the battle won by the Russians with 1:06 to go in the power play. They're going to go off for a full change as it's fired down the ice by Mikheyev. So we'll see if the Swiss could be the first team to solve Russia's penalty kill. As Nino Niederreiter driving behind the net. That's over to Moser, back up to the point. Back to Moser. Niederreiter, he's the guy in front. Swung to the point. Now to the far wall. Corby moving. Drop pass. They continue to pay pass, and
Switzerland's going to get an interference penalty. Corby gets stuck behind Koshechkin, trying to get out of the crease, skated into his back, and gets called for the interference to even things up.
I thought at first maybe crease violation, but the full penalty.
Switzerland's got to put the puck down to the net. Corby absolutely danced Mammon here at the blue line. See you later. Now you turn this corner, you got to think about shooting it, not kicking out to a Kukan who's in not nearly as good a position. Now Corby gets tied up with his own guy and gets redirected by Niederreiter into the back of Koshechkin. That's a tough interference. I could live with a crease violation. That was unintentional. It just lost his balance, but he gets the goalie interference penalty. And we'll have 31 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey.
So a big face-off to the left of Red O'Bara, a face-off controlled by the Swiss. Lucas Frick starts the play up ice. The dish off, intercepted. As Anisimov steps over the blue line. Some good stick work there and a good battle, and it's Joel Vermeen wins it. Joel Vermeen. Anisimov returns the favor and steals it from him. Gavrikov working up the ice. He's got to back up a little bit as Grigorenko driving behind the net. Swiss trying to change on the fly.
Short-handed now, they can kill some time and look for an icing eventually.
Power play time for Russia. Obviously they had an opportunity earlier in the first, unable to convert. So we'll see if they can get it going this time. 4 power play goals in the tournament on 10 chances now, as the Swiss killed off that first. Turnover here and a little bit of speed the other way. Sherway driving. He really has nowhere to go, so he's just going to kill off some more time. Pretty good effort, 1-on-3.
Sherway is all energy out there.
As Dadonov from his knees drops, goes to the front of the net, and maybe a little bit too much flash and dash here right now from the Russians.
Well, again, the breakout with Gusev on it, trying to get on the same page. Gusev wants to play so slow going up the ice and having trouble working together with his teammates. So
Russia, 20 seconds remaining on the man advantage, under 4 minutes to go in the first period as Anisimov chips at it in the corner. Vuchnevich coming to his aid. Grigorenko out there as well. Nesterov trying to help out down low and unsuccessful. As the penalty comes to an end, and a nice kill again from the Swiss. Back to back. And Joel Vermeen, a good job with the penalty kill as he killed off a lot of time by himself. As the top line now out for the Swiss. As we await the first goal of an entertaining first period thus far. That's fired in. Red O'Bara is going to play that. So 2 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in a scoreless game at Royal Arena. back to Copenhagen Saturday night. Brian Mutrick, Mike Johnson with you. Mike, I would assume from the early body of work, Russia the favorite coming into this game. What do you make of the first 20 or so here?
It's been spirited, intense hockey. I think Russia's had the better looking chances. They rang 3 different posts. But Switzerland's defending well. They're battling hard, and they got Reto Berra in net. If he's on his game, then scoreboard pressure can start to mount for Russia, who expect to win these games.
Head coach Ilya Vorobyev, his first year behind the bench as Vladislav Trecek of the Ice Hockey Federation in Russia. Just gave him the job April 12th, replacing Oleg Snarek. Kind of a surprise to a lot of people, but he is the guy leading going forward. As Russia controls, Gusev on net, in front, Datsuk backhand, oh, what a stop! Datsuk nearly pulled the trigger on the backhand. Reto Berra has been fantastic. As Kirill Kaprizov chasing after the puck. I'm counting about 5 grade A chances and a few posts, and still nothing for Russia on the scoreboard. Meantime, 3-1 Finland over Canada, over in Herning, and it sounds like Darcy Kemper is going into the hockey game for McElhinney. So quite the story there. And depending how things shake out, Canada could end up coming here for their quarterfinal matchup. So under 2 minutes to go in this first period. Play behind the net. Kramkin up top. Maxim Mamin behind the net in front. That's intercepted. Puck still bouncing over the stick of Dadonov as he couldn't corral it. And it's picked up by the Swiss. Nifty little pass, 2-on-1. In front, Nito Niederreiter couldn't get his stick on it. He was tied up just in time. As the puck is sent across the ice and then chipped into the Swiss zone, Russia looking for a change, and they'll take one. There's Grigorenko on the forecheck, was looking for the steal, and puck is iced and touched up by Gavrikov.
And there's Datsuk, Gusev, that new first line coming together, and Pavel Datsuk, look at the pick and roll. Slides it right down, almost the forehand backhand. How about the pass here from Gusev? Aerial, lands it right on the tape. And Datsuk, who's got one of the best backhands in the world, always has, pulls that one a little bit wide.
Is it a stick, Mike?
He does have an enormously long paddle, so his blade is in fact about an inch or 2 longer than a regular player's would be. And he lets the puck roll heel to toe like a wrist shot on the forehand. He's got so much control with it. And he's just better than everybody else as well. You give me that stick, my backhand's not gonna be really good like his is, but he can use it so well.
Baltusberger battling behind the net for the Swiss. Turnover, far circle, shot high and right over Kosechkin. As the Swiss playing the body, 2 times Datsuk hitting the 97-point plateau in the National Hockey League. Never hit 100 points, but he's a Hall of Famer for sure. And no doubter. Under 30 seconds to go. Russia driving the play behind the goal line. Down low is Nikita Zaitsev. Passes, goes in front, tries to get a shot off, couldn't get the pass. And that'll be dumped in as Gaetan Haas fires it and then goes off for a change with just a few seconds remaining. Zaitsev tries to stretch it up to Barabanov. Shalunov tried to spin and fire. Can't get it to go from the near circle. That was fun. Entertaining first 20 minutes of this hockey game. And our first look at Nikita Gusev. Intermission time coming up. Mark Rowe and Dave Reed. Saturday night, Copenhagen, Denmark, and a great crowd. Day 9, IIHF World Hockey Championship, and the third game of our triple header right here on TSN NHL Network. Brian Mutrick, Mike Johnson with you. Shots 8-5 in favor of Russia in that first 20 minutes. What were your takeaways, Mike?
Russia was close. They had the better chances. They hit the post a few times. Datsuk line was by far the most dangerous. But that kind of low event hockey, 8-5, not too much happening, that's Switzerland's game. If they want to compete with the Russians, they have to play that way.
Turnover behind the net, in front, and a big collision there. Getting the worst of it.
That's all Sherway's doing, is he is running around, hitting everything that moves that's wearing red in this game.
And drawn off is Maxime Mammon, then lays the body as well. Turnover, and that shot just missed the mark as Mammon couldn't get the shot away. He was intercepted by Diaz at the last moment. He continues to swing for that puck behind the net. Dadonov, Maxime Mammon. Mammon, Dadonov behind the goal line. Little backhand, and Anisimov. Back up to Zaitsev, and look out as the captain, Rafael Diaz, is trying to break in. He was caught from behind. And then fanning on it was Zaitsev, but he was quick to collect himself and get the puck back. Swung to the near corner as Enzo Corvi behind the goal line, chasing after it. Zaitsev moves it up, but the second line is out there. Buchnevich, Gregorenko, Anisimov parked in front. That shot didn't get through as Buchnevich and Artem Anisimov were there, looking for a tip or a redirect. Enzo Corvi at good speed. He drew a penalty in the first 20 minutes. Corvi back to work behind the goal line. It's chipped to the near wall, and there's the captain, Pavel Datsuk. Up to Kaprizov. Drop pass. Gusev spins, a nice move. Gusev cutting in front, and that pass picked off. He had Kaprizov back door, but not a lot on that pass. Sometimes you wonder, you come into a tournament like this and you look at your line mates and you wonder if you're just trying to do too much. As Datsuk takes the pass, back to Kaprizov. Kiselevich at the blue line. Gets it back deep. Kaprizov, quick pass. Gusev, across, shot, scores! Tipped in front, Kaprizov. I think the last stick on it, 1-0 Russia.
Yeah, the answer is no. They're not trying to do too much. They can pass it to each other left and right. These guys all played together in Olympics, and you see the kind of chemistry they have and what the addition of Gusev means. Watch his handles here, and the patience, and he gives Datsuk's an empty net, and he fans on it. But of course, the goal scorer is there to sweep it home, but everybody in white focused on number 97, Gusev, and then finally Russia gets a post that goes in for them. Kaprizov taps it in the empty net. No chance for Red O'Bara, but it's all because the attention that Gusev draws from the Swiss defenders leaves his line mates wide open.
Kirill Kaprizov, 5th goal of the tournament for Russia. He's got his team on the board as that shot from distance misses the mark. Hoffman swings it back up to the blue line. Fired down low as they continue to cycle. Trampkin works it along behind the goal line, and it comes into neutral ice. Some nice moves and speed. And that pass, and skates on Haas was reeling. Trampkin picks it up for Russia. Slides it off. Shalunov with his skates couldn't pick it up, and we'll try one more time as Trampkin is back. Barabanov. Gates on Haas. Continue giving it away, and finally picked up and drawn off. Chips and chases. Away he goes behind the goal line. Swung to the far wall. And behind Red O'Bara is Sherway, who's looking to step away from everybody. Picked off. Buchnevich in. Fire stop. Rebound is Buchnevich. Real good release from that near circle. Back to pick it up is Kukan, who fires it down the ice. And the Swiss player touched it up, so no icing. Swiss changing behind the play. Mr. Soft drops it off. Dadonov cutting in. Dadonov hauled down right at the blue line. And Nino Niederreiter starts to play up the other way. Niederreiter. Backhand to Moser. Corvi picks it up. Corvi can't get it in front of Moser. Held into the blue line. A nice job. Corvi tried that quick little pass to Nino Niederreiter. Niederreiter in. And that shot trickles and goes into the corner. Didn't get through. And eventually swept down the ice. And as Dadonov is in. First guy there behind the net. Grigorenko. Working in that corner, trying to dig it free. Datsuk behind the net. Far circle. Shot. Rebound in front. Dadonov swings at it. They jam away. Reto Barrow's down at the side of the net, well out of his crease. And finally a stoppage as Grigorenko pleading his case.
Wondering why there was a whistle blown, because it appears that puck was still loose in the crease. As watch number 45 slide in, Michael Forer with his skate. Got to get that thing sideways. It was probably a high stick, but Forer just posts up with a skate, knocks it down off Grigorenko. I think this was a high stick, that's why it was blown down. And Forer, yeah, absolutely good call by the official. Number 21, Gordon Schukis from Germany on the spot with the correct call. And there's really no point in swinging at that thing over your shoulders there. Because even if you hit it, it's going to be a whistle. You might as well wait and see what happens.
Swiss control and fire to the near wall. The backhand by Andrighetto. Doesn't get through. Kaprizov with a step. And just in time, the back checking. And he was stripped of the puck. They try one more time to get it to Kaprizov. Stretch pass up ahead to the backhand. And just fanning on it was Gaetan Haas, and then hard into the boards behind the net. And a penalty to come.
Quick transition catches Bereglazov reaching on Joel Vermeen, who was almost in alone, could not get his stick free from the hook. Laid out to him here. He just wants to get his hands free, but Bereglazov has it all hooked up. He can never quite get it out in front of him to make the play. Not in alone enough to warrant a penalty shot, of which Joel Vermeen has already had in this tournament and missed. Chance for Switzerland to tie it on the power play.
Andronov, Andrighetto take the face-off to the right of Kosechkin. The Swiss down 1-0 in this hockey game. As Russia strikes first in the second period. So back to the point. Diaz fires, stopped in front. Rebound, bouncing puck, and just wide of the crease. Back up to Diaz as he swings it across. Gaetan Haas in front. Diaz to Haas, broken up, and he couldn't get the shot away. Andronov just flips it into that corner and goes off for a change. Penalty minutes all evened up now, as you see in the hockey game, but let's see if the Swiss can convert. Andrighetto, neat little backhand. Diaz has Kukan at the blue line with him. Diaz, Andrighetto waits, fires, and right in Kosechkin. He's going to stop it for a face-off in the Russian zone.
Nobody in front of the net there for Andrighetto, so it's just one-on-one with a shot blocker and Kosechkin, as both Meyer and Hoffman were flared out looking for side of the net passes, but Kosechkin, when he has nobody to worry about in front, gonna be tough to beat. We reference his stats often. .931 save percentage in the KHL.
Corvi takes the draw and gets it back to the point. Fired in and over to Corvi. Corvi at the near circle. Back up, Kukan. Corvi. Kukan. Far circle, fires, scores! The one-time shot. What a blast from Uten Sander. Far circle, and the Swiss tie it up.
We have seen Untersander take about 10 one-timers from this exact spot on the power play, and he never can hit the corner of the net. This time he does. He puts it right in the short side under the bar where you want it. Good look from Kukan, just hard enough. And it's a shot he's had many times. He just hasn't been able to hit his spot. He's got an excellent release. He can shoot it plenty hard. Just we're waiting on him to pick a corner. He finally does. And we've got ourselves a tie game as the Swiss respond in their own power play.
The building alive at Royal Arena in a 1-1 tie here in the second period. So a big shot, Ramon Untersander, played last year in Paris and Cologne. And making a mark here as Kiselevich picks that off and tries to fire into the Swiss zone. Kiselevich then upended by Noah Rod as he laid him out at the far blue line in the Russian zone. Rod chips it up ahead. Gaetan Haas fires and that missed by a few feet. Rod chips to Haas as he's watched by Gavrikov and sent up the ice. Chipped in, Red O'Bara will settle that down and moved up by Michael Fora. Andrighetto has it. Andrighetto sends that across and rebound off the back of the net. And as Timo Meier, who's been quiet so far in this game, had a pretty good look. Timo Meier hustling back. And behind the net, Red O'Bara. Untersander tried to settle it down. Turnover, far circle. That shot scores! Off the turnover. What a shot. Dadonov makes it 2-1.
The ideal response from Russia. Dadonov not pouting from the demotion, playing one of his better games. Forecheck from Anisimov, turns it over from Untersander, and he drags it all the way out, and he catches Barra going the wrong way, pulling it back against the grain. Hardest part about this is to not have it blocked and have the strength in your wrist to wheel, fire, get it through Vermeen's legs, and pass Barra. Dadonov's got all of that, and Russia right back up front.
Yevgeny Dadonov in his 5th straight World Championship. A 3rd-round pick of the Panthers back in 2007. Won the Gagarin Cup, which is the KHL championship a few years ago. And he scored here as Maxime Mamin puts on the brakes. That shot just whistled by Red O'Bara. And it's fired back in.
It's a good shot, nice goal, but it's one you'd love your goaltender to save. No one really around him, just one-on-one, and he got fooled by the release. But to beat Russia, you need saves on plays like that.
Maxime Mamin starts to play up ice. Andronov fires and better stop that one. Andronov gets it to Buchnevich. And in comes Gavrikov pinching in. Buchnevich lost it, gets it again. Wanted Barabanov, but that's intercepted and moved up ice. Nino Niederreiter takes a bump at the blue line and fires it in as he met Kiselich. As we approach the midway point here of the second period, as Russia has retaken the lead. 2-1 the score over the Swiss. Welcome back inside Royal Arena, day 9 of the IIHF World Hockey Championship. And as the tournament gets deeper in, the games of more importance. And both these teams, just one loss coming at the hands of the Czech Republic. And a good test so far, Russia. Bouncing back here, all the scoring in the second period, 3 goals. As that slung to the far wall is Shulanov. Chipped at it. Barabanov chasing behind the play. Baltisberger starts that play up ice. Schuming swung at it. It's fired in. Kosechkin settles it down behind his net. And swung up for Barabanov. Barabanov coming in. Little drag move. Tried to go to the backhand. A nice move into the slot. He gets pinned now in the far corner. Shalunov trying to help out. And Baltisberger has it, chips it deep into Russia territory and off for a change. Chip and chase is on by the Russians as Zaitsev going after it. Not shy about getting in deep offensively as Zaitsev. And chip back in by Gusev. And the Swiss looking for that home run pass. Gaetan Haas streaking in. Kiselevich, nice stick work to get it out of harm's way. And Gusev the other way. Drop pass in front. Gusev shot. Oh, what a stop. Red Opera stones Gusev, second time of the game. Gaetan Haas the other way for the Swiss. Kiselevich forcing him behind the net. And then he roughs him up in the far corner. Datsuk swings it over for Gavrikov. What a stop. Red Opera.
Clearly Gusev is in mid-tournament form, though. He is all over this rink. Chances virtually every time he's on the ice.
That's fired in, and Kosechkin taps it. Kiselevich works it up the ice to the far wall. In stride to Anisimov. Anisimov. And batted off their high stick, and that's called right away as he got the stick up. So power play to come when we come back. Russia leading 2-1.
Team Russia had about 63 2-minute high sticking.
Mike, some calls are questionable, and then there's that one where Dadanov just speared Corby on the flyby, and the referee, Josef Kubas of Slovakia, was right there, and that was a no-doubter.
Another high-sticking penalty. Corby's well enough to stay on the ice for the power play. It's amazing how power plays make guys healthy real quick. The healing powers of points.
Corby out to take the draw. Nino Niederreiter has it. Listen, Sonder. They continue to play pass, and that's actually off Nino Niederreiter, and comes out of the zone. Luther Sonder already a goal in this hockey game. That big shot from the far circle. He's back out for this power play as Corby gives and goes. Corby drives, chips it on net. That's stopped by Kosechkin. Corby collects it near wall and keeps it in. Backhand. Buchan has Corby. Plays pass in the near circle. Gets it back. Corby. Buchan. Long shot and tipped high as Moser was tracking, looking for the redirect in front.
That's a good adjustment by Switzerland to take what Russia is giving them, because the power play. There's that whack to the chin from Dadonov, 8 feet in front of the official. And that other chance for Gusev. I think he fans on this one. Yeah, he cuts on the top half of the puck. He's trying to elevate it. It's way out in front of him, and he catches the top half of the puck and shoots it along the ice.
Reto Berra, pretty good numbers coming into this game. 2 wins, a shutout. A goals against average of 1, and allowing 2 in this hockey game, but he's been real solid. Remember, a lot of chances in that first period, a couple of posts as well, as Andrighetto has it on the far wall as they try to get set on this power play. As Diaz, the captain, Andrighetto slings it up ice. In Zaitsev skates, Hoffman falls, and the Russians able to clear. Barabanov, good hustle. Barabanov, short-handed driving. He gets bumped behind the net. Barabanov has been really impressive, Mike, in this tournament.
He has. I was just thinking the exact same thing. He is just 23 years old, played for St. Petersburg as well. Playing here in an energy 4th-line role, but I think he could do some pretty good things, whatever league he decides to play in, but he certainly could play in the NHL if he wanted to.
Came inside for the team lead with 6 points to start the game anyways. So doing it offensively as skates on Haas, swings it around the boards with 13 seconds to go and this man advantage. Thrown back to Diaz at the point. Into Sonder, cross ice, Moser, Diaz fires and he ripped it wide. Sander, back to Diaz. Sander tried to sling it across in front. Oh, Berra, one stop, bouncing puck, and he does it again. Kosechkin, same jersey, wrong goalie. I'm so used to saying Reto Berra because he made a million saves this game. That was all Kosechkin, and I love Mike looked at me like I was in the wrong building.
Timo Meier's looking at the heavens too. What's happening? As Kosechkin uses all of his 6'7" frame to get a toe on this one. Myers is trying to put it towards the net. Any chop underneath, any kind of little chip wedge puts it over the pad of Kosechkin. We have a tie game, but slams it into the outstretched leg of the Russian goalie, and we remain 2-1 Russia.
I mean, the guy's 6'7", it's hard to miss him.
250 pounds.
Yeah.
He's a presence out there.
One's Russian, one's Swiss, I'll figure it out. But Kosechkin, what a stop.
Pretty athletic move for a guy who's that big. And Switzerland's done some work on the power play. That's Sonder getting him on the board, and then right after that, Dadonov responds, restores Russia's lead. And 2 goals in quick succession, with Switzerland tying it and Russia going back in front.
Finland still up 3-1 on Canada over in Herning. In the other group, face-off 1, shot in the skates. And the puck battle continues as that hit Dadonov in the skates. Corby swings it up, moved across quickly. That shot, and Sonder didn't get through. As the Swiss, long backhand, and Kosechkin's going to glove that on as we're down to 6 minutes, 23 seconds in the second period. 5-on-5 hockey here at Royal Arena.
Switzerland has to feel pretty good about how they played in this game. They played hard, they've been physical, they've had their fair share of chances, and they have not been overwhelmed by the skill of Russia. It's been evident they've created their chances against Switzerland, but all in all, I think Switzerland takes this kind of game every time versus Russia.
Vermeen to take the draw. Andrighetto chasing after it, comes out of the zone and chipped on the near wall. As Kablukov. Not a lot of ice time for Kablukov in this game, but tried to drive in offensively. Moved up ahead, a possible 2-on-1. Chip pass across, that shot just wide. Kosechkin was coming across and had just missed the mark.
What a play. 2 aerial passes, and Meier almost bangs it home on the back door.
Timo Meier now just pinned by Gavrikov, face first in the boards, and they finally go their separate ways. Great effort as Andrighetto slings that up ice. Gavrikov bangs his man as Noah Rod fires it And with both teams changing, Kiselevich will start to play up from behind his old goaltender, Kosechkin. And there's the captain, Pavel Datsyuk. Datsyuk drops it back. Gusev tried to fire that through. Has it again. Plays past Gusev. One-time shot. Tries again. Second time broken up. Datsyuk. Oh, magic hands. Gets it back to the blue line, but it comes out of the zone. And the Russians will have to try one more time. Reto Berra. Little dish behind his own net. Over the stick of Datsyuk and all the way down the ice, and that should be icing, and is, in the face-off to come in front of Reto Berra.
See Timo Meier on the bench, got some ice on his right hand. There's Andrighetto to Vermeen, and this backhand sauce is outrageously good. Lands right on the tape of Meier. And then there you see the kind of awkward fall. Meier's got his right hand on the top of his stick. And watch as he goes in, it gets kind of rolled up underneath him. And he's feeling the pain of that right wrist. Still icing it on the bench.
21 goals this year in the NHL. And he's 21 years of age, so it's good to be young. They usually rebound pretty quick.
And he's not going anywhere, which is always a good sign.
Sherway, a bit of a foot race. He falls as he was chasing after that loose puck. Who can? Picks it up, fires it down the ice. As Moser was held up briefly, but gets to that puck. Moser, needle rider, just over his stick. Moser tries to get it to him one more time and cannot. Under 5 minutes to go. Maxime Mammon shot, didn't get through. Dug out by the Swiss and Corby. Up to his man, but he's checked off the puck, and they'll try one more time as Nino Niederreiter spins. Wanted Fora over his stick, so Corby's got it. Enzo Corby. Moving it up ice for the Swiss. Corby drags, fires, and Kosechkin right in the chest, and he'll hold it. Corby moving in with speed, but it's Russia leading 2-1. Mike, love watching head coach Patrick Fisher on the bench. 42 years old. He still looks like a player, and he was barking out orders and getting his message across.
Yeah, with the whiteboard, diagramming offensive zone plays here. 3:51 left in the second period, and he's going with a double stack inside. Meier back on the ice as well. Watch for him potentially to pop out for a one-timer.
Andrighetto taking a draw. Vermeen and Meier were to the right, but controlled by the Russians off the face-off. A weird bounce again off that glass as Barabanov swats at it. And picked up by Joel Vermeen. Mirko Mueller has it, stretches it up, tipped, and tipped too high. It's into the netting, so a stoppage in play.
Mirko Mueller, New Jersey Devil property now, originally drafted by the San Jose Sharks. And one of the guys that Switzerland will lean on to watch Pavel Datsyuk, who that man Mike Babcock, head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, knows very well. Coached Datsyuk for 10 years, won a cup in OA. There's Kenny Holland, his former bosses. You see the GM and coaches row up in the rafters.
Stanley Cups 2002 and 2008 with the Red Wings, and obviously Mike probably watching Nikita Zaitsev as well.
Yeah.
And wondering why he's the only right-handed shot. Well, now Gusev's here too, but a lot of left-handed shots on this Russian side.
Mike Babcock would not like this defense at all. He loves his lefty-righty pairs. He's adamant about it.
There's a collision behind the play at center ice. Both players seem to be okay as it comes right on Kosechkin. He's going to cover up.
But so much of that lefty-righty thing for Mike Babcock and coaches in the NHL is because traditionally players do not grow up playing on their offside. So it's a new thing that they're trying to deal with. They're not as strong at it. Not everyone can play with the puck on their backhand like Pavel Datsyuk can. And so you get to the NHL level, it is more difficult. But for this Russian team, when there are no righties, a whole bunch of these defensemen have grown up only playing on the right side as a left shot. So it's not nearly the challenging transition it is for guys who go through it their whole lives.
We were talking, had a good conversation with Yuri Fisher, and obviously no baseball, over there. So a lot of kids grow up, and how they shoot's how they shoot.
And he also said there was some biomechanics studies in that having predominantly right-handed people, which the majority of the world are, it's better for your stick handling if that is your top hand, so you control your entire stick with your right hand, which means you shoot left. So multitude of factors playing into the fact that Russia specifically has more left shots proportionally on their team than anybody. And they almost always do.
So the net behind Kosechkin appears to be fixed.
You better get those pegs in there tight if you've got 250 pounds pushing off them.
I don't know if that's the new arena that just opened up last year and the ice for the first time, or just the nets in general. I think it's the nets in general. Nothing to do with the ice of the arena. As the puck is chipped on the far wall, that's a lovely kick drop to get it out to. Neutral ice area. And Dodonov showing off the soccer skills. Russia is hosting the World Cup, so might as well.
It's one of the best parts about this rink here, too. Both teams warm up with their little...
Dadonov to steal. He's coming in hot. Dadonov round the net, wraparound try, and Reto Barrow is there, and he actually plays the puck. I thought he was going to squeeze it. And his play continues. Niederreiter.
And as the teams warm up, play their soccer games, it's outside, and all the fans can stand on the stairwell and on the concourse and watch their favorite team go through their soccer warm-ups.
Buchnevich in front, backhand pass stopped as Maxime Mamin let the backhand go. I almost suffered an upper body injury walking over there playing soccer. They're not shy about just firing it around.
He's jumping right in on it.
I took the long road around just to make sure, and of course, that's when you get smoked, right? Good battle behind the net is Andronov fighting for it. Andronov still has it, spins around. Tried that give and go pass, and that was broken up and comes out of the zone. And Zaitsev is back for it. Being watched by Joel Vermeen.
Ilya Vorobyov, the Russian coach, changing the lines up midstream. Now he's got Buchnevich off the Grigorenko Anisimov line that was so good for him. He's down on the third line. Dadonov, with his strong game, went from the first, started to the third, and now he's up on the second line. So trying to work the bench for the right combos.
Diaz, the high flip to Andrighetto. He spins and fires a high one, bounces off the glass, stays in play. Nestorov starts to play up ice. Tip by Kablukov. And into the corner. Barabanov couldn't win the puck battle, and the Swiss turn it up ice. Sherway in, drives the net. Sherway jamming, and the Russians cleared out of the crease area. And behind the play, Sherway gets tangled up.
Sherway's getting the extra one. The referee was right there, yelling at them to let it go. No more. Gordon Schukis, the referee from Germany. And you can hear the referee talk to you. When you're playing a game, you know what you can get away with. So here he is, he comes up right on it. Great look at it. Let it go, let it go. And the little cuff to the back of the head after the warning both players received was enough to get Sherway the penalty. You gotta know to listen to the referees. They're trying to help you out. They don't want to give you a penalty. But Tristan Sherway a little out of control, a little too emotional, and takes the unnecessary penalty late in the second period as power play hasn't looked great. So Pavel Datsyuk's holding court with Kirill Kaprizov, telling him where he wants to go, while Kosechkin, I think, is going to get a new helmet or tape up the strap on this one with just a minute left in the power play.
I'll translate for you, Mike. Datsyuk was saying, listen, I'm going to pass it to you, kid. You just fire it in.
You know what, actually, I saw Datsyuk moving his stick around, and it looked like he was saying, be ready to tip the puck out of the air. I might put it down by your knees because this is earlier in the game. So Yakovlev and Sherway have had a ongoing battle. That was one, and then here's the second, and that's the penalty. So it's not something that just sparked spur of the moment.
Fancy new helmet, looks pretty good.
So we'll watch for Kaprizov, see if he gets around the net for a tip, possibly from Datsuk.
Kosechkin, by the way, plays in Metalurg Magnitogorsk in the KHL. He's got a new lid. And power play time as Russia goes to work, but time running down in the second period, under a minute to go. As Kaprizov tries to dig it out. Mirko Mueller, good job to win the puck battle. Works it to the left of Reto Berra. It's fired down the ice right on Kosechkin. So his first save with the new mask.
Well, that's too many men. He got caught on it for played the puck. Smart play by Kosechkin. I don't even know if he meant to do this on purpose, but everyone on Switzerland was looking for a change. And Christian Fischer is upset. The bench has got to communicate. Screaming at forward, no, 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 don't touch it, or you don't step on the ice until you're ready. But Kosechkin puts it right up into the pile by the bench, and that extra stick by Forrest slowing it down was enough to get the call. As you see Mirko Mueller trying to eavesdrop in on the Russia meeting. Christian Fischer knows he's in tough now. So Patrick Fischer knows he's in tough now. Has to kill off the last 24 seconds to try to regroup during the intermission.
His third year behind the bench. He played 27 NHL games for the Coyotes. His number 21 is actually retired in Zug, Switzerland in the SHL. So here we go, Russia. Nesterov down low. Gusev, Nesterov fires, stop Gusev in tight, and he couldn't bury it. 10 seconds remaining in the period. Datsuk, Gusev, Datsuk. They play pass, one-time shot, scores! What a rip from one knee. Nesterov loads up. Power play goal, 3-1.
With just 2.2 left on the clock, and I love the generation from behind the net, because that makes Berra go post to post on his own goal line. So he's stuck on there. If you make good quick passes, look where this one-timer's from. Inside the hash marks, right where the face-off dot is, and Berra is so deep because he was just hugging the left post. He can't get across and out in time, and Nesterov makes him pay. Really smart 5-on-3 below the goal line.
Nikita Nesterov from Chelyabinsk, Russia. Chelyabinsk and Magnitogorsk co-hosting the Under-18 World Hockey Championship this year. And he's made it a 3-1 hockey game as Russia leads. Mark Rowe, Dave Reed with your intermission next. Welcome back inside Royal Arena. A 3-1 advantage for Russia. Shots 15-14 in favor of the Russians as well. And that late goal in the second period from Nikita Nestorov with 2.2 seconds left as Russia up 3-1. Look at the group, Mike, that we're in. Sweden 14 points, Russia 10 points, the Czechs 9 points, Switzerland 9 points. So the Swiss will pull out all the stops to try secure any points in this hockey game if they can, but they start this third period killing off a power play, 1:36 remaining as Russia goes to the man advantage. Russians came in with the most dangerous power play in the tournament. Each team with the power play goal in this game is Kaprizov, who has a goal in this hockey game. Turnover, Sherway picks that off. Sherway dishes across, Noah Rod. Circles, waits, goes to Sherway. That's picked off as Sherway's had a nice game on the penalty kill. Gusev drops it off. Sent across, Datsuk sent the feed across and the shot was stopped by Reto Berra.
Yeah, move that puck.
Noah Rod, shorthanded, fires, missed the mark, bouncing puck and goes behind the net into the far corner.
You gotta headman that thing to Vermeen, create the 2-on-1 with your speed, but you skate it yourself and it turns into a 1-on-1.
42 seconds remaining in the power play. Dadonov swings it down low. It's Gusev to Grigorenko at the far wall. Grigorenko, Dadonov, Grigorenko back up to the point. Gusev, that right-handed shot, has it. Nestorov fires, and that's kicked aside by Reto Berra. Nice chip play in front as Kaprizov played setup man. He gets the puck back and he swings it down. Grigorenko. Gusev, Grigorenko behind the goal line. Gusev, Dadonov parked in front. Gusev swings it across and wanted Grigorenko, couldn't find him with the backdoor pass. Grigorenko tried that centering pass as Nino Niederreiter's out on the ice after the too many men call. So back to 5-on-5 here in the third period. Gusev spins away as he circles. Back up to the point. Long shot, didn't get through. Knocked down in front as Grigorenko, I think, might have took that shot, and he's going to skate off for a change.
Good first step for Switzerland. Kill the early minute-and-a-half penalty. Get to 5-on-5 and just work on getting the next one. Just work on getting to within one.
Gavrikov stretches that up ice. Picked off, and Diaz swings it along the boards. As Mirko Mueller tried to swing at it. And pretty good chance from Shalunov in sight. Shot was broken up as Diaz chips it into the near corner. Collision, Diaz got bumped by the Blukov, and Russia able to keep it in the zone. Driving towards the net, Barabanov puts on the brakes, waits for help as his teammates were changing. Barabanov chips behind the net. Shalunov up to the point, long shot tipped, and Berra made the stop with Barabanov parked right in front.
He's got that low center of gravity. He's hard to knock off the puck. When you think you have an angle, he's got the good edge work to stop and create a little time and space. He's solid.
Glazov in his first game for Russia moves it up ice and changes off. That shot stopped as Buchnevich with a pretty good look in the slot. Reto Berra the stop. Itan Haas tries to spring an Andrighetto. He tries to jump around his man, and Buchnevich has it. Little backhand kept in, a long shot. Timo Meier let it go from distance. As the Swiss look to start it up ice in their own end, there's Kukan. Kukan and again. Rod jumping on, nearly too many men, but they were okay. Gusev fires, Reto Berra the stop. And Shapi, Reto Shapi for the Swiss, and that's chipped up into the Russian bench for a stoppage and play.
You can't force the puck though against Russia. They know they're up 2, they'll have guys back, and then if you press and turn it over with a risky play, then Patrick Fisher knows their team will be in trouble. You just have to be patient, stay with the game plan, knowing that it might take a little while to generate your good looks.
I've been waiting nearly 40 years to generate my good looks, Mike, and I just don't like the odds. Not liking the chances.
Gotta be patient, Brian. Gotta be patient. Is
that what it is?
It'll get there.
Okay. Gaetan Haas off that face-off, fires it in a weird bounce right in front of Kosechkin. I feel like a broken record, but this building is full of those weird bounces. Frick gets it down low. Baltusberg just out of his reach. Flipped up ahead, and Dadonov was looking for that home run pass.
It's been an adventure down by the bench for Fora. He was the one who happened to step on the ice and play the puck, or on his way off to the bench to create the 5-on-3 that allowed Nesterov to score with just a couple seconds left in the second period. And having been there, the 2-goal lead is an entirely different proposition than the 1. And that seems obvious to say, but in your mood, in your energy, in your belief that you can win that game if you're Switzerland down 2 is monumentally lower than if you're just trailing by 1.
As Corby starts it up ice. Long shot and just missing the mark. And Simon Moser is driving towards the net. Couldn't get a tip on it. Who can? Back for Nino Niederreiter. To Enzo Corvi. Corvi and Niederreiter, childhood friends. They hadn't played together for their country in about a decade. And getting to compete this year in 2018. And they've had great chemistry in this tournament as well.
You see them together off the ice. They're always going to eat together, always walking around to the rink together. They're making up for lost time the last decade, I guess.
You know, with a cool tweet, if you check his Twitter feed, a picture of them both as young men, and they're still young men, but now together battling for Switzerland, the World Hockey Championship. So in a story, and Dronov chips it in deep, and that'll be whistled down icing.
They are not related, but they seem to have chemistry like they might be, as Gusev, Datsuk, Kaprizov, tic-tac-toe for a goal, then Datsuk, Gusev, Nesterov for a one-timer, and 2 passers with great vision, hands, and patience. And you put some good shooters with them, and good things will happen.
I clearly don't have a career in coaching, as I wondered if Gusev and moving him up with the chemistry that the top line already had, but there's your proof in this hockey game. They've been dynamic.
They also have the entire Olympic experience to draw on, where they were teammates. Kaprizov as well. It was Gusev to Kaprizov in overtime that won the gold medal. So they have been on the ice, especially on the power play, a lot during the Olympics. All those practices, all the time traveling around, the month in Pyeongchang. So they can draw on all of that.
So Eli Tolvanen, who just joined the team in Finland, has made it 4-1. So bad news for Canada hockey fans. Oh, tipped and Sherway having a pretty good third period. Sherway was great on the penalty kill and nearly tipped one home there.
So apparently the deal is get the guys off the plane and put them in the game.
Well,
because Krejci and Pasternak were tremendous. Tolvanen shows up. He's been awesome first game in. No pressure on Yossi and Fiala at all.
The trick is then to get the guy for the gold medal game, right?
That's right.
Like Ovechkin style a couple of years ago, 2015 Prague, except Russia lost to Canada that year. Play is chipped behind the net. Red O'Bara looking over his shoulder as the backhand. Gaetan Haas intercepts that and works it around the net to Mirko Mueller. So Michael Fora being patient behind the net. It's now 5-1 Finland, so that's getting a little out of control. Here's Kaprizov, head up. He's knocked off the puck, Joe Kaprizov. You have to think that the Minnesota Wild pretty excited to have number 7 in their lineup sooner than later. Kirill Kaprizov, he's been such a fun player to watch.
And what a find that would be out of the 5th round.
Here's Fora. Not as good as Datsuk out of the 6th round, though.
Unlikely.
But still pretty solid. Datsuk passed over in 2 drafts, by the way, and then Red Wings got a real good one, obviously. As the Russians try to clear the zone, the high bouncing puck into neutral ice. Kukan weaving in. Kukan driving in and loses the puck. He tried to go coast to coast. As that didn't work out, Dadonov jumping around his man. Pass Grigorenko. Andrighetto driving towards the net. Andrighetto couldn't get the pass in front. That was Datsuk breaking things up. As the Russians bring it up ice. Backhand, kick the side as Grigorenko with a good look. Vermeen has it for the Swiss. Joel Vermeen will chip and chase and go after the puck in the corner. Anisimov gets there first. Eldon at the blue line. Shot deflected off a Russian player in front, but into the corner. Then Frick, a big collision in that near corner. Swiss trying to dig it out. Andrighetto back to Frick. And Dadonov picks that off and moves it up ice. You look at the Swiss, and obviously they're looking good for the quarters, but a Kevin Fiala, a Roman Josi could make quite the difference on this team. I mean, the goaltender's solid.
They play tough. The games will be close if they get a game breaker or two arriving. That might be the difference to put them over the top. They'll be in tough in the quarterfinals. Likely get the 4th spot in this group, so they'll be playing USA or Finland in the first round, which will be a very difficult matchup. Likely have to travel to Herning. Top 2 teams in each group get to stay in their home base. 3 and 4 crossover. The Herning group will come here, 3 and 4, and vice versa.
That is a fun city, by the way. 50,000 people, about a 3-hour train ride.
Fun part might be that Denmark is in a good spot to get 4th, and they'll be on their way over here to play Sweden or Russia.
I was in the city, Mike, when they had the big win over Finland, and it was wild. Freddie Anderson, that's his home city, and that was a pretty special night. Well, I went into the morning. You could hear him until 5:30 a.m. You couldn't sleep. At some point, you're thinking, why don't I just get up and wander around and enjoy it?
So that's what you did.
No. Get all the rest you can at these World Championships as a broadcaster. As Zaitsev picks it up behind the back of the net. Maxime Mamin swung at it. We're getting closer to the midway point now of this 3rd period.
It's a long run without a whistle, which is fine with Russia.
As Gusev is trying to step around for a bouncing puck, and Gusev in the area. Red O'Bara covers up. Russia with a 3-1 lead.
Welcome to Skåne, fan of the game.
Welcome back to Royal Arena. Drill Kaprizov opened up the scoring. Ramon Butensander, a power play goal, answering for the Swiss, and then it was Evgeny Dadonov. And then with the dying seconds of the 2nd period, Nikita Nesterov, power play goal, made it a 3-1 hockey game. That's where we stand here in the 3rd.
And Switzerland's got to start turning it up a little bit more. They've been patient, as I suggested they should be, but they've got nothing going here in the 3rd period, so maybe time to start incorporating some risk, as Shappy took that one in the thigh and is struggling on his way to if he hopes he can get to the bench.
That's when you need one of the wheelbarrows to push you off that come out during the breaks to scrape ice. You got to feel sorry for a guy paying the price. Gusev dishes off Datsuk, and just a step offside as the Magic Man was cutting in.
I think Gusev likes to play the game in slow motion when he wants to. Just let the play develop in front of him, and see Shappy still smarting from that shot block. Chappie, who kills a lot of penalties, takes a lot of important faceoffs, very strong on the draw and in a defensive role. Out there to take a defensive zone faceoff and get off the ice, but it's not exactly how he planned it.
Anisimov wins the draw against Corby as Gavrikov fires it into the corner. Mirko Mueller has it for the Swiss. In open ice, chips and chases after it. Kiselevich with Gavrikov behind the net. Swiss trying to show some battle back in this hockey game over the stick of Mueller. He's got to hustle back. As Diaz with him. Mueller goes skate to stick, still has it. He doesn't like what he sees, so goes behind the net and then dishes for Diaz. As Diaz sends it up, Gates on Haas, the chip and the chase. Sent around to the far wall, but kept in. And Shalunov just bounced over his stick, but the Russians come away with it. Gablukov, long bouncing shot, missed the mark. Barabanov battling to the far wall. Barabanov, wraparound try and tied up with Shalunov. Couldn't get a shot off, and the Swiss move it up ice. Timo Meier, San Jose Shark gets a bump from behind. Meier and Andrighetto trying to create something. Turnover in front. Oh, what a shot. Timo Meier, the rebound, scores. Andrighetto backing things up. And the Swiss pull within one.
Gonna wait for your break and be opportunistic, and that's exactly what Switzerland does. As Yakovlev looks to go D to D, but is picked off by Vermeen, puts it right out in front to Meier. Great save, Koshechkin, but the strong hands of Andrighetto actually banks it in off Glazov's skates. But I love the strength here. Get on it. Look at the flex on the stick, the leg kick from Andrighetto. Everything he can do to put this one towards the net. Actually banks in off the skate. There, Glazov. Brilliant save by Koshechkin on the first one, but Andrighetto, much smaller man, leans on it, shoves it towards the net, and now we're in for a finish.
Led the Swiss last year in scoring. 3 goals, 7 points, and he's back at this World Championship. And he pulls his side within one, and the vibe at Royal Arena changing. Swung up to the point, shot, stopped in front, rebound in the backhand, just wide. Oh, what a chance. And missing with the backhand. I know Sherway's been having a hockey game, and how sweet would have that been? And he would have been the guy who's been working so hard in this game. Sherway back to work, sends it behind the net. The electricity coming alive inside Royal Arena with under 8 minutes to go in the hockey game. Michael Fora, watched by Kaprizov. Fora sends it to the far wall, just out of the reach of Moser, and that will be icing, but it's amazing what a turnover and a goal can do for the energy in this building.
All the Swiss fans alive now. Yakovlev bails out on the potential hit from Vermeen. That's where the turnover happens, because he's worried about getting hit on the forecheck. And shot, save, rebound, crash the net, and just like that, Swiss are within one. Vermeen's had another strong game, centering that second line and around the puck.
Face off to the right of Red O'Bara, controlled by the Swiss in Kukan. Near wall, chips it up ice, off Moser. Datsuk calmly gloves it down to his stick and works it across the ice. Slung up and over Untensonder's stick as the Swiss will collect it behind Red O'Bara. The backhand by Moser. Corby moving on up. Corby drives and checks his man to the far wall, swung out, Dadonov, little touch pass to Datsuk. Datsuk, long backhand, pretty accurate even from center ice with that backhand, isn't he? Right on Red O'Bara, the Swiss have pulled within one. Sven Andrighetto, drafted in the 3rd round by Montreal, eventually traded to the Avs. 22 points in 50 games this season. Had 1 goal in their playoff series with Nashville, and making an impact here at the World Hockey Championship, bringing Swiss within 1. Face-off to the left of Renaud Berra. Grigorenko wins it clean. Back to Zaitsev. Nikita Zaitsev works it in deep. Anisimov driving around behind the net and able to accept it, and Vora stretches it up ahead. Shiraway breaks, shot, kick save, rebound in front, and a scramble, and the Swiss couldn't get a shot off as Mirko Mueller able to get it in deep. Noah Rod behind the net with Vermeen. Rod all the way up, and Diaz hustles and keeps it in. Joel Vermeen spun off the puck, eventually chipped down into the Swiss zone, and Russia with the change. Mirko Mueller plays pass, catches it back, and sits behind his own net. As Kablukov was watching him closely and continues to assess. Frick has the puck, fires it in. Keselevich in the corner, tries to tie up that puck. Battle continues, and Gavrikov loses it. Frick back to the point, swings it across. That shot didn't get through. Timo Meier is driving in the corner. Meier's behind the net to the forehand, and he just missed. Tried to bring it to the forehand, but he couldn't pull it off. Here comes Andronov. Andronov bumped in the corner. Just over 5 minutes to go in the 3rd. Andronov cuts into the forehand. Renaud Berra poke check, and then covers up for a face-off in the Swiss zone. Andronov driving in, but he couldn't convert at Royal Arena. Welcome back to Royal Arena. Shots 21-20 in favor of Russia. And the top line out there, once again for the Swiss, led by Nino Niederreiter. Drafted 5th overall by the Islanders back in 2010, the highest drafted Swiss sport player ever until Nico Hischier went to the Devils last year.
Don't the Swiss wish they had him around this tournament as well. Although he was a little bit injured towards the end of his season. He needs his rest, but the game breaker they're looking for. They got one 1st overall last year.
Russia wins the draw, but comes back into neutral ice territory. Fired back in by Yakovlev. Kaprizov watching and chasing after it, looking for the turnover. Moser, nice job to tip it up ahead. And it's fired back in. As Berra settles it down for Kukan. Kukan gives it away in front, and luckily no Russian there, and Utensander was the guy who was there and gives it back to Kukan. Here's Kukan over the blue line, has Niederreiter with him, but drives it deep as Moser goes in, and a big crushing hit behind the goal line. And the fans whistling and respond, and Nino Niederreiter can't handle it. Gusev racing in. Oh, when he smells an opportunity, it's like blood and water for a shark as Niederreiter gets hauled down. And again, you got about 12,000 officials in the stands that don't like that one. Well, that's aggressive, not 12,000. I'd say roughly 9,000. A lot of Swiss fans. Driving chance in front, centering pass. Oh, what a shot! Bouncing puck and just misses. Gavrikov nearly beat Berra, but he got enough. Boy, the Russians can turn it up ice, and they do again. Set in front, shot, scores! Grigorenko in front. Him and Anisimov, they've been dynamic, and that should be the dagger. Russia up 4-2.
A willingness to hold your own blue line by Gavrikov sets up the 2-on-1, which eventually Grigorenko deposits. But it's a good defensive play from Gavrikov. Moves it quickly to Anisimov. Beautiful saucer pass. And Berra looks to go with the poke check. Once you go with the poke check and miss, you are in big trouble. Anisimov brings Buehler over nice and tight to him, and pretty good hand-eye. That puck was not sitting flat, bouncing a little bit. Grigorenko able to chop it up and over Berra. But it was Gavrikov stopping the dump in, keeping a tight gap, not backing up late in the game, queuing up the transition play, and it's 4-2 Russia, comfortable once again.
Over 200 NHL games with the Sabres and the Avs, former CHL Rookie of the Year with the Quebec Remparts as well, and Mikhail Grigorenko.
His skating was always an issue in the NHL. And watch it play out here. Doesn't appear to be.
Sven Andrighetto, under 4 minutes to go in the game, driving behind the net as Nesterov works it to the far wall, and it comes out of the zone. So one blip so far for Russia that came against the Czech Republic, but pretty good bounce back game tonight, Saturday night in Copenhagen. And there's a steal. Little 1-on-2 while Kaprizov now, he's got help. Kaprizov across, and Berra the poke check, and behind the play is whistled down. Offside?
No.
What was the call?
Too many men on Russia. As you see, the linesman Jan Killian from Norway make the call. And there's the 6 guys. Oh yeah, all 6 in the defensive zone. That's an easy call to make. It's a busted assignment on the bench. So now you need 2, Brian. 3:12 on the clock. You have a power play starting. You probably give your first unit a minute. 5-on-4. If you don't get a goal, you take the goalie out. So you need 2 before the game's over. So you want to give yourself as much time as possible. Yeah, well, they beat me to it. I would have given them a minute. I would have given them a little time, 5-on-4 with the goaltender in, and then eventually pull them if I had to. But Patrick Fisher, more aggressive than I am, going for it right away.
So Switzerland, extra attacker out.
Right now, Andrighetto saying, when I lose this, Haas, you got to jump.
Andrighetto wins it clean. One-time shot, kick stop. As Anisimov picks it up on the left circle and drives behind his own net, trying to kill off some time. So net empty, 3 minutes to go. Power play for the Swiss. Extra attacker out. Corvi back to the blue line, fired back in. Gaetan Haas. Andrighetto swings it around for Corvi. Nino Niederreiter parked in front. Back to Andrighetto. Andrighetto back to the point. Down low. Nino Niederreiter to Corvi. Diaz. Andrighetto. Bouncing puck. Andrighetto again. Diaz takes the shot. Corvi fires in front. Saving. Fire down the ice. A nice job from Anisimov. And keep in mind, they're killing off the penalty, so free reign to fire at that open net. With 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the game. Andrighetto. Haas. Sherway back door, and they just missed him. He was taken down trying to sell it. Sherway back on his feet as he was tracking towards the net. Under 2 minutes to go. 45 seconds of the power play. Sherway switching up spots, far circle, down low, in front, over, Nino Niederreiter. Andrighetto fires, scores! Sven Andrighetto and Gaetan Haas, the tip in front. So the Swiss, once again, pulled in one, power play goal.
Good entry with possession, and then Haas puts the puck out to Andrighetto. and then quickly hustles back out in front, and he gets that with the shaft of his stick. Andrigetto leans on it, Haas jumps out, and you see the tip just before it gets to Koshechkin's glove. You get a better look at it from behind the net, and it's not over yet. The aggressive play by Patrick Fisher, getting the goalie out early, pays off, as there's still 1:48 on the clock, and there's a timeout now called because that #1 unit of offensive players that Patrick Fisher was using had been on the ice for about 1:40 seconds, so not only do they need some strategy, but they need to catch their breath. They need to get their legs back so that they can go to work and try to get one more. Goaltender will go back in net for the face-off at center. Reto Berra will come, I imagine, the first time they get in the offensive zone with any kind of pressure on the puck.
Now, IIHF, Mike, how long can they hold the timeout? Like, can they get Roman Josi here in time, or is that enough time for this power play?
Check the flight pattern, see where he's at.
Fiala maybe even rested.
They're going with the group that's out there, and they've done a nice job. Now you can see it, watch 92 in front. The shaft of his stick right there. He just directs it slightly towards the middle of the net, and Koshechkin would have caught it cleanly, but
I think it just tipped his glove at the last second on top.
Yeah, I know it hit Haas' stick, then it hit Koshechkin's glove and snuck through.
So here we go again. 5-on-5 now. Power play obviously over, so keep an eye on Reto Berra. It's been a fun hockey game. Russia up 4-3. The crowd's into it. Away goes Reto Berra, so he's gone. As Haas swings it back, 1:28 to go. Let's see if the Swiss can pull off the unthinkable. As Timo Meier works it down low. Back up to the point. Diaz is the point guy. Haas on the blue line as well. Diaz to Haas. Loads up, fires in front, kicking at it. They pound away. Koshechkin's down, side of the net. And they continue to jam and eventually kicked out of harm's way. And backhanded down the ice, empty net, and it just goes wide, so icing the call. Wow, what a flurry of activity in front of Vasily Koshechkin.
What a battle down in front. Haas drifts this one in here. Meier can't have it. That would not have counted as he kicked it off the post, which was a good break for him because it allowed the scramble to continue. And everyone digging at this loose puck. Gavrikov eventually gets it. It's gonna go in. On the last bounce, just drifts a little bit left, and now Russia takes their timeout. Lets their group get set, get their breath, and they've been on the ice. On the icing they cannot change, and so Reto Berra, who's had a strong game, will stay on the bench, and it will come down to the last 58.5 seconds here. Switzerland pushing for the tie to get this point, which is all important as we come to the tail end of the round robin. One more look at this mad scramble. Vasiljevic almost putting his hand on it before it goes behind the net.
Nothing better than the fans and the slow-mo reactions. The emotion on their face, and obviously in the building. Andronov, Andrigetto, head-to-head as they pump Eye the Tiger in the building. Face-off, ready to roll in front of Koshechkin. And they'll reset, and the DJ is on point because he just kept playing the song.
He knows what's up.
He's into it tonight. Saturday night, baby, Copenhagen. So they'll try one more time. Timo Meier draws in. Andronov. Swiss control as Diaz chips at it. 53 seconds to go. Diaz at the point. Swings it across. Long shot. Tipped just wide behind Koshechkin. Corby shoved down. Bouncing puck in the neutral zone as Diaz hustles and swings it over. Far wall. Nino Niederreiter has it. 36 seconds to go. As the Swiss pulling out all the stops. Nino Niederreiter cruising in. Fans on the forehand. As Nikita Zaitsev picks it up for Russia. Puts on the brakes. 22 seconds to go. To the near wall. Corby keeps it in. Corby up top. Haas fakes the shot, near circle, fires, Corby, side of the net. Oh, he chipped it just wide. Enzo Corby, are you kidding? Diaz to the point. Haas fires, didn't get through. And Russia will hang on this Saturday night at Copenhagen. That was a wild hockey game, and Enzo Corby has to be shaking his head, Mike, because I am up here, and he was this close.
Oh, he hit the post on the short side as he chopped it at the same time as Kosheshkin. You get the puck to the crease, take your chances, and off the outside of the post, that close with 12 seconds left to tie the game. And a wild one with Russia hanging on for the 4-3 win.
Shades of Oliver Wahlstrom in the gold medal game at the U18s for the United States as Finland hung on in that one, and Russia hangs on here. Good night from Copenhagen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best players of each team will be awarded with the official watch from Tissot, official timekeeper of the 2018 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. The prizes will be presented by Konstantin Schavel, owner of J&M Plus brand patron. And the best player of Team Switzerland, player number 71, Enzo Corby. And the best player of Team Russia is player number 4, Vladislav Gavrikov. Best player of Team Russia, player number 4, Vladislav Gavrikov. And ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Russia. Tomorrow at 4:15 with a game between France and the Czech Republic. Get your official merchandise today. Don't forget to visit the IIHF merchandise stand in the fan zone. Remember to get
Switzerland put up a bit more of a fight than your team expected?
Yeah, I mean, we knew that Swiss are really good team, really fast and physical, so I think we got what we expected.
You had Gusev back today. What did he add to your team in this game?
I mean, he's one of our best Russian players that we have in KHL, and obviously he brings a lot of skill, and he's been really good on the power play, and I mean, he helped us a lot today.
Everybody's waiting for the matchup between yourselves and Sweden. Has this game helped you prepare for that?
Yeah, I think so. As the tournament goes, we have tougher games, and but before we play Sweden, we gotta beat Slovakia first.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Sven, a great effort by your team. What ended up being the difference in this one?
Well, pretty simple. They scored one more goal than we did. We got pretty close there at the end. But I mean, we started pushing at the end. I mean, the first 2 periods, I think they were the better team, and at the end of the day, they deserved it.
As the tournament goes on, your team grows together. Does this give you more confidence moving forward for the quarterfinals and even your final 2 games?
Yes, for sure. I mean, the more we play together, the more we get closer together, and we're building momentum that way. I mean, we've been playing some good hockey, and we want to build on that.
Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.